culture that we have is unique. We are in a very revolutionary phase of Herbalife. For us, it has a lot to do with your mindset. So be exactly what you say. Every time you go to an event, if you go with the proper attitude, if you go there to learn, to catch ideas, to be inspired, we recharge and puts us on fire.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Just Got Back podcast studio here at Extravaganza 2026 in Krakow, Poland. And we are here with our final guest of the weekend. And yes, we have held the best for last. I'm so excited to welcome our newest Chairman's Club members in Europe and Africa, Carlos and Maria Bastos, to the studio.
Thanks
Welcome,
so much,
guys.
Michael.
Grazie, Michael.
I tell you, this weekend has been absolutely magical, the whole thing. But to know that you guys were going to actually achieve, well, we already knew you achieved it, but to see it in real life, the recognition here. Carlos, how does it feel, man? 33 years,
yes.
And to be here now.
Totally unexpected, honestly. We would have been recognized for sure, we knew that. But the way the recognition came out, it was completely a surprise. And that's why I got emotion, because when you see our whole country, standing with the notes, those notes were not prepared. Everybody, we found out that yesterday evening, they told us, they sent the PDF to everyone, and those who wanted, they had to print their own and to bring their own. So when we saw practically all Italy doing that, said, wow, that was a killer.
3,000 people holding up the Chairman's Club sign. It was a mind-boggling.
Emotional killer.
Yeah. And Maria, so how did it feel for you when you saw all the Italy holding the signs, and how did it feel emotionally?
Ma quello che ho provato salendo sul palco, dove mi sono accorta di tutti questi fogli con la spilla del chairman, veramente mi ha lasciato a bocca aperta e spiazzata, perché non è stato trapelato niente, quindi è stata una sorpresa inaspettata, poi non solo dalla nostra organizzazione, ma veramente da tutta Italia. Quindi abbiamo fatto fatica a concentrarci per andare avanti con i ringraziamenti.
So I'd like to just take it back to the beginning. I know we've heard your story. I know your story fairly well because I've heard it multiple times over the years.
Apologies.
No, I'm so inspired by it. I mean, I'm 27 years now, so I feel like I got a lot of work to do in the next 5 years to try to meet that 33 years. But I want to just know, how does it feel, that some of the struggles you went through, and to ultimately, and I know for you guys, this is not the final point. There's a lot more to be had.
No way.
But it is a huge milestone. Less than 100 distributors in the 47-year history of Herbalife, out of millions of distributors, have ever obtained this level. Just tell us a little bit about that journey.
The journey has been very challenging, as I tried to share yesterday from stage, and she did the same. It's lots of ups and downs. By character, I don't get emotion when the times become tough. I do the opposite. I cool down. And but if I get emotion on everybody getting a pin, because I know what there is behind, what they go through, because it's not what we went through. We went through to similar circumstances, never the same, but 33 years of age, of life, we go through the same things. Honestly, ups and downs on health, on finances, on feelings, emotion, on people dying, passing away, etc. 33 years, it's a long journey. So many possible distractions that we always looked with with a lot of attention, to avoid that becomes a distraction. So we kept on walking the walk straight. And that was very challenging, because sometimes really you feel squashed by this is too much. But then you find out that life never puts on your rucksack more weight that you can carry.
I like that. I don't know that I've heard that one before, so I like that synopsis. So I know, just from being in many trainings with you and hearing your philosophy, and as well Maria's as well, as you've coached your guys, and I know you have a particular way that you coach: love, share, but independence. You guys, I'm giving you the tools, I'm giving you the knowledge, now you go do it. But just talk a little bit about what that's been like with the 5 diamonds that you now have. again, maybe not all the dynamics, but just a little bit so that people watching, they understand what it is to create or to help create five president's team lines.
I fattori comuni è che li abbiamo da subito trattati come dei futuri leader, quindi hanno dovuto imparare velocemente a essere indipendenti. Noi siamo sempre stati dietro le quinte, pronti a intervenire nel caso del bisogno, ma dovevano superare tutti i loro ostacoli.
It's what we train people. It's about mindset. We keep on listening to all events, mindset. Even on Friday was a slide with mindset. I text our leaders, mindset, etc. And people don't realize that. It's what you do, but we see that whatever you do leads you for the change of the pin if you do it properly. So now, so it's not what you do. It's it has a lot to do with your personality. That's why Jim Rohn and Mark Hughes always said, work more on yourself than on the business. And this is sometimes I see that people understand it but forget it pretty quickly. And they are on the DMO, on the details, etc. For us, it has a lot to do with your mindset. And if your mindset is building an organization as a priority, the way you talk to a prospect, even to a prospect, you say the same things than before because the marketing plan is the same, the company is the same, but you have changed the way you present the opportunity, the way your voice, the way you talk. Why? Because you are building an organization. So this is unconscious almost, but that's why I honestly try to keep them focused, everyone, not only those leaders, on your mindset. Where are you at? Because it's so easy to get distracted.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure over the course of 33 years, you've seen your fair share of people come and go in your organization. I'm sure a lot, right? So as, we have distributors of all levels watching the podcast today. Just to touch on that, and maybe Maria as well, like how you were able to not let that affect you. When I'm sure you had people you said, this person is going to be a president's team member, whatever. Yeah, I got it. And then they're gone. I mean, so how do you register the two together? What your vision was for them, and then ultimately what it wasn't for themselves?
That none of them are necessary. Mm-hmm. Honestly, and they know it. So with or without them, we will still keep on climbing the ladder of the marketing plan. And that's in my DNA. Mm-hmm. So even when I talk to a prospect, you can smell it by the way I talk to you, etc., that you're not relevant. Mm-hmm. I'm not too much involved in your decision. My job is to present at the best of my capacities the opportunity or the products, and then your is the choice, and is yours. Why? Because for me, it's not about to have you on board, is to find a leader. Mm-hmm. And for as much as I lower the bar, I get more people, but they don't have muscles in their legs. Mm-hmm. If I raise the bar, very few people, but they jump, and those have legs.
Got it. So I guess I would just say, I'm just thinking about like the incredible trainings and what I have personally been able to absorb, when you have been on stage. And I sent this message to you privately, the impact that you've had on me with just your aspect about leadership and the things that it takes to stay the course. And, I know maybe you just touched on it a little bit, but as we have leaders watching this or up and coming leaders watching this podcast, what are the things you say to them about like stay in the course? I know you said no distractions, but what is it? What makes the difference, Carlos, between someone that stays the course all the way and then the ones that maybe check out early?
Okay, that's a provocation. It's not from you, me from you to you. It's lack of integrity. Now, people have a feeling they connect integrity to values. For me, that is not integrity. That's my choice. Integrity to your thinking. So be exactly what you say. I will never go on stage saying something that I am not. I am not that message. That's why one of the things that always fascinate me, it's because sometimes we pass on what we heard from stage to another, and this is a communication that we have. You're not the topic. When you're a speaker, you say, hey, remember, you're not the topic, okay? And you're not the message. And they say you're not the topic. But just to say, don't get lost on your story. You're not there to say your story. Go to what you're supposed to do. And I think that we should communicate. That's what I do to people. You're not the topic, but you need to be the message. You need to be the message. So don't talk about retailing if you don't retail. Don't talk about recruiting if you're not a recruiter. Don't do, because a lot of people, they just learned nice statements from Jim Rohn, Mark Hughes. We are a very rich company on those aspects. I mean, the culture that we have is unique. And so they keep on perpetrating and repeating the same messages. But then if you get to know the person, you say, but it's nothing that he said from stage. And for me, this isolates us. Honestly, it's not because we are snobbish. It's just because I find boring people that they talk something that they are not. This for me is integrity, linearity from your message and who you are.
So that's what you have been training your guys, or what you've shared with the guys. The message on the way is like, be true to who you are and speak it, right? And say it, and nothing more and nothing less.
No, yeah. If you talk to all our 11 present team at the moment, there are 11, they are in Italy. And if you talk to the company, they are people that they pick up the phone, they say what they believe, they don't bark. One of the things that I find always fascinating is that vocal people, to my experience, so all due respect to vocal people, but vocal people tend to be with no results, okay? And if you don't, for me, you don't need to be vocal. You need to become relevant to the company. The more relevant you become to the company, and that happens according to the business you build. The bigger the business you build, evidently the company, you become relevant. If you think about the number, the founder circles, they're very relevant. So if they cough something, the company says, sorry, how do you say? What do you say? Why? Because they created first. And many people, they don't bother to create. They just want to be heard.
No.
And those kind of people, again, we have a happy life, isolated, with very few people around, but quality people for my values.
I would like to ask Maria a little bit about, building business, as a woman, as a mom, as an entrepreneur. Did she ever purposely target women as, who she wanted to speak to carry that message to, or was it just everyone? Or?
No, non ho mai fatto solo cose per donne, perché generalmente, indipendentemente da Herbalife, per me non ci sono le donne e gli uomini. Conviviamo insieme e viviamo le stesse esperienze insieme, quindi non ho mai diviso in due gruppi.
So I guess I would like to maybe shift a little bit now. Well, first, before I do that, I think myself and the rest of this entire arena are really excited about this afternoon, to have you come and close out this incredible event here in Krakow and send us on for the next 12 months, right? And wherever that is that we will meet in 2027. But backing up as committee members, that really, you played an incredible role in how all of this thing came together. We just had some other committee members in the studio before you guys, but how do you see this extravaganza itself, how it played out based on all the work that went into it from the committee and the corporate, of course, but how do you see that it's turned into reality? How do you feel about it?
I feel good. We are in a very revolutionary phase of Herbalife, but we are in a very revolutionary phase of the community, society outside, the economy. Everything is really changing. So I feel blessed, honestly, that the company is willing to reinvent itself again one more time after 46 years, and that's what is needed for me. It's always adapt. We have basically 5 pillars on which we base our strategy, and 2 of them that are very strong for our good life is one is Darwin, the species that survive is not the strongest, is the one who adapts. So that is our motto, honestly, even in our relationship, because I am not the person that I was, oh, by the way, today is our 20th anniversary.
Wow!
Yeah, that's true. So it's amazing. Amazing weekend, by all means. And even in a relationship, you need to adapt because your spouse, is, after 5, 6, 7 years, it's in evolution. So that's to adapt. And that's why I'm so excited seeing the company always willing to adapt. that creates a lot of problems for those who are not willing to adapt. For the people who say, but we were used to. Yeah, but come on. Especially what we saw today that Martin shared with all the technology went at the end slowly, but so in one device. So adapting is our key factor, one of our two key factors. And the other one is Sun Tzu, The Art of War. That struck me 20 years ago when I read it, that there is the possibility to win all fights in your life. I say, that's strong. I say, provided you know what to fight for. I found that line so powerful because it's so smart. There are things that you don't even step into that because you're not going to win. Yeah, but I want to be right, etc. Yeah, but you're not going to win. So that's why, because we share the ESG together, that's why you see that I present my point of view. I try to be as clear and as possible. And then I don't put my emotions into that. Why? Because I'm one vote, one idea. And if it's not picked up by majority, why should I keep on and barking? Come on, easy. So Darwin and Sun Tzu, for me, they helped me to have a smooth life.
Well, I tell you, I really like how you handle it in the ESG meetings. You say your part and you say, that's all for me, thank you.
That's true.
You close it, like that's it. And, I just see that leadership from you. And again, unfortunately, I haven't been so exposed to Maria over the years, but certainly sometimes. Seeing how you handle everything in the ESG that is, that comes up. And so as we start to think about 2027 and, I just know from knowing you and your trainings over the years that if I said, okay, what's your goal and by when, that's not even, I would assume that's not even a conversation you're going to entertain. It's like, it's going to happen and it's going to happen when it happens. But I'm going to ask you anyway. So what is the next big goal for you, business related? I'm sure you have millions of all types of other goals, but when we talk about Herbalife, we talk about the marketing plan. What is the plan, or what are you guys thinking?
Last month, together with us, with our qualification, we also had our daughter and her husband, Julia and Francesco, that qualified millionaire team, and they're growing fast. They are fully committed. They are really, even maybe sometimes too much because they have a child, and we are growing parents. So we say, no time. We have to do the calls, the Zooms, etc. They travel. So we expect very reasonably. It's not optimistic. That if they keep themselves on track, and there again, we don't need them. And they are a daughter, there's family. They've been treated like anyone else. One interview would be nice to talk to them to say how the advantages, because people talk to them and say, oh, your first line of Maria Carlos, how lucky you are. And they look at you just saying, what are you talking? Because, no, honestly,
I can imagine,
they called us like all distributors, the price list, whether this is not working, and we were always telling, oh, you should call relation distributor and the marketing plan, etc. Look in My Herbalife, etc. Because things change so fast, we're not up to date, etc. So we always address them, and then we always did this. Even today with new guys, I do the same. I address you where to find the solution, but I will never be your solution. So if they keep on track, good for them as well. It's they should be on qualification by the end of this year, 7.5. So most likely we should have a diamond by the end of 27.
I like it.
Or around that. Okay, so that's another strategy. Our first diamond to Founder Circle.
That's the focus. So then,
a lot of focus.
See that new diamond.
And there is another sideline that is also a 3-get team. Vibrating, etc. So from there we have to smell who is the one that has the shoulders, the muscles to go all the way up.
So kind of coming to an end here, but I want to ask this question because I find it absolutely unbelievable. When I know, a lot of other people, chairmen, club members, and whatever, but to have, it's pretty rare. In America, there's a few because it's just such a big country and whatever, so many people. But in Europe, to have all 5 diamonds in the same country. And not only 5 diamonds lines, but do you have 11 president's team members or diamonds all inside of Italy? I mean, To me, that's mind-boggling.
And the 12th is going to be all this in
Italy
our
as
daughter
well.
is there.
So just talk a little bit about that. I mean, is that because your focus, I mean, I'm sure you think globally, but your focus has always been, right? Italy, is that the scenario?
Noi abbiamo sempre usato l'usa, indossa e parla, e quindi il nostro circolo di influenze, vivendo in Italia, abbiamo sempre sfruttato tutti i contatti che avevamo intorno e evidentemente abbiamo influenzato i nostri presidenti che si sono duplicati in maniera uguale.
You know, when I just hear your story and to see what has happened and to know you guys for quite a few years now, and to see it actually happen, and, to look back to Extravaganza 2025, and the emotion. They showed the video clip today, the emotion. And I think because, and I'm just from the outside looking in, I think it's because you knew it in your heart that it was time, and Tommy just happened to be the messenger that day to bring it to you on stage at Extravaganza last year. But how did you feel at that moment? Did you say, "Okay, I see it"? I mean, I know the emotion, but
devastated.
Yeah.
No, honestly, because I felt he was talking to me really, and. In Herbalife, it's a bit abused. My friend, we've got 1,000 friends, we have family, etc. We are more careful with these words. And Tommy and Dale, they're real friends, real friends. And having your friend, someone you really love and you really respect, talking to you like this, like a father, despite the age, I should be his father, vice versa. It struck me because, as you said, you touched it. It's just, I knew it was time, etc., and I felt badly. We've worked for that happening, etc. It was not yet happening, etc. So we got back from that extravaganza, and Cinzia texted immediately because he did the same with Quentin. And Cinzia texted to us and say, why don't we do a special training with vision to our teams, etc. So we did that. Tommy and Dave Monte Carlo were very nice. They brought also some of their future present team, who became present team also. And Pierre and Paula, our fifth diamond, was also there in that training. And that was a very powerful one because it was a door closed. It was not a Herbalife training, corporative one. It was a very severe one, very severe. No place to hide, bushes, etc. And it made a difference to the many, because from there on also Giulia and Francesco qualified to Millionaire Team. That event was so powerful. Quentin spoke, Cinzia spoke, she spoke, I spoke, Tommy, Dea, and we all spoke strong.
And do you feel like from that's interesting, do you feel like that was like it just...
The sparkle.
It was just this kind of like glue that brought everyone together. This mission has to happen.
Yeah. In our case, going back from that event in Monte Carlo, we created a chat which was Road to Diamonds. And we had the three lines there. 3 lines, right? Yeah. 3 lines, potential lines. And and those, by the way, one is Pier and Paolo, who became present team. One was our daughter, who became Millionaire Team. And this is the 7th diamond possible. Yeah, we still are working on this one, okay? So, that was the big shift.
Big turning point there. So awesome. Well, I tell you what, guys, I know, speaking, on behalf of all of our people that are watching today, this video clip with you guys, and I know all the videos that are going to be shared from yesterday, the recognition, and then this afternoon, Carlos, as you close out this incredible extravaganza.
Don't put too much weight on me.
No, I am putting the pressure on. And listen, I know, as you just said, right? No backpack is going to be heavier than you can carry the load. And
I'm not worried.
Yeah. And so
you should be worried. Your royalties are there.
Well, I'm just worried because I know, I'm not worried, but I know in the end, that I need to personally probably think about the same thing like what you thought about last year when Tommy said that to you, certainly at a different level, but it's time to go, right? And I think for all of us in Herbalife right now, with everything we have, all this stuff,
it's always time to go.
It is time to go.
It's always, that's what fascinates me. After 46 years, every time you go to an event, if you go with the proper attitude, if you go there to learn, to catch ideas, to be inspired, for God's sake, every time you go home and we say to okay, we need to do this, we need to change this. We recharge and puts us on fire.
That's why that's the importance of coming to the events, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, so grateful. appreciate your time here in the studio today, and I can't wait for us to close out this incredible extravaganza in Krakow and look to 2027. I'm sure, right? And look to 2027. So thank you guys for being here today. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Maria.